With Rogan sometimes is he'll hear somebody that's on the dangerous end of the spectrum, and he'll just kind of soak it in.
And this is, I think this is a great point. And it's whoever job who thinks that that information is dangerous, to fight to get their point of view out there to counter what they think is misinformation. You can't just deputize people to say he should have known better and he should have prosecuted that point.
But the reality is, John, is that it might be my job or the New York Times job or even your job, but I don't have the audience that Joe Rogan does.
Then get it.
Yeah,
then find
get
people
it.
Who do, then go on. Then go.
Jon Stewart just did something no one saw coming. He defended conservatism. And now, the leftist world is losing its mind. For years, many on the left have struggled to show even basic empathy toward conservatives, treating them as if they're somehow less than human. But when Stewart broke that mold, it sent shockwaves through his liberal audience. They couldn't believe what they were hearing, and honestly, neither could I.
And a couple of times?
Yes.
What did you think of that experience, being on Joe Rogan?
I enjoyed being on Rogan. I think he's an interesting interviewer. There are right-wing weaponized commentators whose sole purpose is to manipulate things to the benefit of the Bannon Project or the Project 2025. Rogan's not that guy.
What is that guy? How would you describe
that guy
it?
Is a curious comic who fell into this thing that got enormous, maybe doesn't has opinions all over the political spectrum, but has tendencies that people on the left does not.
There's a lot to unpack here, so let's dive in at ES. You heard that right. Jon Stewart, the longtime darling of the left, just stood up for Joe Rogan, and it sent shockwaves through liberal circles. For years, Rogan has been a thorn in the side of progressives, calling out hypocrisy and challenging liberal orthodoxy in ways few have dared to. Instead of addressing his criticisms, many on the left chose to vilify him, labeling him dangerous, spreading falsehoods, and turning him into a political punching bag. The interviewer tried to bait Jon Stewart into attacking Joe Rogan, but Stewart didn't take the bait. With the finesse of a seasoned comedian, he turned the moment around and
who are kind of Nazi curious. That's not good.
I've interviewed Kissinger. And he was carpet bomb curious. I don't know what to say. It's very easy to castigate those where we're but he had an opinion a few years back that's, corrosive.
But the difference is when he was carpet bomb curious, you didn't say, oh.
Stood up for free speech instead. For years, the left has branded Rogan with every label imaginable, from problematic to Nazi. But Stewart recognized what many Americans already feel. People are tired of these worn-out labels that divide rather than unite. Jon Stewart once again refused to attack Joe Rogan. While the left dismisses Rogan as
sometimes is he'll hear somebody that's on the dangerous end of the spectrum, and he'll just kind of soak it in.
And this is, I think this is a great point. And it's whoever job who thinks that that information is dangerous, to fight to get their point of view out there to counter what they think is misinformation. You can't just deputize people to say he should have known better and he should have prosecuted that point.
But the reality is, John, is that it might be my job or the New York Times job or even your job, but I don't have the audience that Joe Rogan does.
Then get it.
Yeah,
then find
get
people
it.
Who do, then go on. Then go on.
Misinformation. Stewart saw through the double standard. Instead of joining the mob, he defended open debate, reminding everyone that dissent isn't a crime. It's the backbone of democracy. I love the point Jon Stewart is making here. If liberals truly believe
it's not acceptable to just say, well, I don't like what he does. Then do it better, beat them at their own game. It's not enough to just complain that guy got a platform and don't platform that guy. There's no one in this world right now that isn't platformed. And my biggest frustration, honestly, with a lot of scientists is they all go, RFK, oh, he's so f***ed up, that's terrible information. Oh, okay, what's the...
Conservatives are spreading misinformation. Why not challenge them with facts and reason? Instead, too often, the response is to cancel or shame rather than engage. Stewart exposes the irony. Those who preach tolerance are often the first to silence opposing voices. Jon Stewart is calling out
family that are to the right of Attila the Hun. And when people tell me, like, how can you platform that person on your show? I go, I platform my uncle every Thanksgiving. And by the way, I love him. He's a three-dimensional human being who has qualities that I really admire. Things about him. And we've lost that. We've lost the ability to love people because we litmus test
out the left for turning conversation into cancellation and debate into dismissal. He warns that silencing diverse viewpoints is tearing the country apart. His message is simple. Trust and understanding begin with listening, especially when it's uncomfortable. Naturally, some liberals weren't too happy with what he had to say. Joe Rogan's show has always been an open forum.
On X, quote, we'd come so much closer to solving racism in America if white people realized the nice relatives they sit across from at Thanksgiving wouldn't be so nice to them if they weren't white. And writer Josh Olson says, quote, the right wants to take basic human rights away from multiple members of my family and other people I love. No one who shares those views is welcome in my home or my family, ever. Jon Stewart is so wrong on this.
A place where anyone can speak freely and be heard. But the interview with Claw Harris never happened. Rogan's team offered a long, unfiltered conversation, even tailoring the questions to her comfort. She turned it down. That's not confidence. That's fear of transparency. Rogan's platform doesn't intimidate honest voice.
Is a comedian and actor and game show host who is curious and started doing this podcast where he platforms, even that word is getting to be so annoying. He interviews, has conversations with a wide variety of people, from people on the right, the very far right, to people on the very far left, including Bernie Sanders. This is one of the biggest shows there is. The audience is massive. If Kamala Harris had availed herself of the opportunity to be on it and do a good job, it would have helped her. She lacked, I think, confidence that she would do a good job.
It exposes those afraid of real dialogue. Joe Rogan's show is unpredictable, a blend of left, right, and everything in between. Millions listen because it's not an echo chamber. It's a space to question beliefs, debate ideas, and confront perspectives that push your comfort zone. It's messy, raw, and real.
Rogan episode or interview takes the conversation in exactly a direction I would or I like, but that's fine. It's not exactly for me. It's for a wide swath of real Americans who have confusing views and views that are all over the place. That have right-wing views on social issues and left-wing views on economic issues, or vice versa. And David Remnick was like, "Oh, this is Nazi adjacent." Well, yeah, people have Nazi-adjacent views out there, and you could no longer just ignore this kind of speaks to what I talked about in my radar. We no longer live in a world where there's a small number of TV channels and a small number of book.
And that's exactly why it matters, as Bill Maher reminds us. Ignorance isn't defeated by censorship. It's defeated by better speech. If conservatives or centrists spread misinformation, the answer isn't to cancel them, but to challenge them openly. Jon Stewart's support for Joe Rogan isn't political.
Keep views that you think are too extreme outside of that you can keep them out of being discussed. You just can't do that anymore. The internet has made that impossible. So the reality is you're going to have to live alongside with people who are spouting views you don't agree with and find out how to. And some of these views are very dangerous and should be argued against, but you have to actually do that work, do that labor. You can't just say it's wrong to engage.
Political. It's principled. Free speech, dialogue, and honest conversation are the foundations of a healthy society. Silencing voices deepens division. Discussion is what brings us together.